Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, so I hope you really enjoy it. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Roberts. I am a mechanical engineer, but that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about, of course, the X-Men. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the X-Men comics and the original characters who started the X-Men with Black History Month, and I'm going to make it dope, and it's still going to be geeky. Let me just give you a brief history on the X-Men. They started back in 1963, okay? Created by two legends, Stan the Man Lee and Jack Kirby, who is the king of comics. And let me say this, if you claim to be a fan of Marvel anything, Marvel movies, Marvel whatever, you gotta know Jack Kirby. It's like saying, freaking you love basketball, but you don't know who Michael Jordan is. Or you love football, you like watching football, but you ask, who's Walter Payton? So in other words, you've got to know Jack Kirby. Just look him up. That's your homework assignment. They were created by these two guys back in 1963. And what's so significant about this era in the United States was there was a lot of discrimination, a lot of bigotry that was going on. They represent like minorities and other people who are different, who are treated differently just because they're different in some particular way. They're out the norm. The thing about the X-Men, there are two significant characters. The leader of the X-Men, Professor X, and the Master of Magnetism, Magneto. To me, Professor X and Magneto are a direct reflection of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Professor X and Magneto both want the same thing. They want mutants to be treated equally as regular people. They want to be seen in public. However, Professor X and Magneto have two different routes. They have two different visions of how to make that happen. Charles Xavier, he's more peaceful about his methods, okay? He's non-violent. Magneto, on the other hand, he doesn't give a crap. He's willing to wipe out the entire human race if he has to. So in other words, Professor X reflects MLK, Magneto reflects Malcolm X. With that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to proclaim MLK's famous speech, I have a dream, but I'm going to do it through the words of Professor X. And Professor X, in this one, he's talking to his original X-Men who started back in 1963 with him. The original First Class. As you see right here in X-Men #1, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, Beast, and Jean Grey. Those five. He's telling his I have a dream speech, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I hope you love it. And let's get into this. Boom. Listen, my first class students. I believe this speech you are about to hear will touch the mind of every living soul across the globe without the help of Cerebro. But it's regarding my vision, a dream that I have. They say dream big, so this one exceeds the capacity of my own telepathic brain. It cannot be contained. You can say it's mind-blowing, like it shocks the most powerful telepaths. Think I'm insane? Listen and prepare to have your own mind blown without the effect of a psychic blast. Gifted youngsters. We live in a world that fears and hates us. Simply because we are born with a unique gene giving us special abilities that set us apart from the most populated group of people in this country. Now, we have encountered and will face many difficulties of oppression and segregation. But I believe as a unified movement, we can help eliminate this injustice system, emancipate our kind from this nation's prison of racism. Then the world will treat you equally even though you were born a mutant. My students, we cannot be satisfied. As long as the Sentinel Regiment program exists, whose sole purpose is to extirpate the mutant race and obtain absolute dominance, so we stand against white supremacy's ambition. We cannot be satisfied. As long as mutant hate groups like Friends of Humanity continue their harassment and brutality on us minorities like corrupt law authorities, there is no satisfaction until the Church of Humanity acknowledges that all mutants are created in the image of Christ the King, who is the artist and author of our lives, like Jack the King Kirby and Stan the Man Lee. As long as mutants in Mississippi are treated like rogues, mutants in Chicago are banned from public places, racial discrimination enforces locked doors, even though we have the power to literally walk through a door, regardless if it's locked and closed. Or mutants in New York believe there is nowhere to go, therefore they have lost all hope because they don't see a dazzling light at the end of the road, only darkness like a blackout at a stage show. So the song of their hearts is not a joyful note. As long as this is present, there is no such thing as all men are created equal, therefore, we have not yet attained our goal. All these obstacles makes the goal seem so far and impossible. However, my dream is still alive in my telepathic mind, and I have faith it will become a reality someday. And on that wonderful day, mobs of normal people will no longer lynch mutants like they tried to do Drake. Their cold hearts will defrost even if Bobby's Omega level powers causes the temperatures to drastically change. Someday, you shall freely fly high in life on those angel wings without being gunned down from shots of bigotry. You will not be denied success and fair opportunities. So warring, keep soaring toward your rich and promising destiny. A special day where you will not be judged by the color of your blue furry skin, but by the content of your gentle, humble character. And when they call you a beast, that's just a figure of speech to describe you as a remarkable and incredible individual like your intellectual level. A glorious day where regular couples will sit at the same table with Scott and Jean, an atmosphere overflowing with love of brotherhood and sisterhood. Despite his optic blast or her ability to mentally move physical things, this is the wonderful dream I have for the 5 of you and mutants everywhere. In order for this to happen, we must take it upon ourselves and do our part, starting by marching along the rigorous road toward glory, not looking back and never again sitting and waiting in the dark, just expecting change to come. We will fight until mutants and non-mutants coexist in peace, defend our kind against sentinel attacks, oppose anti-mutant groups supporting racism and inequality. We will use our powers for the good of mankind, never harming people. Our actions will be out of love. Regardless of what they try to do to us, we will walk away blameless, retaliate with no evil. As I stated before, now it is our time to start. This is our moment, our season, as of September 1963. This year for us will not be an end, but a beginning of our first appearance in history, and we will change history and impact the minds and hearts of all comic book readers across this country. Some may call us the Civil Rights Movement. Nah. My first class students, the world will know us as the X-Men, and always remember to be proud that you are a mutant. There's one more thing I need to tell the 5 of you. Scott, Bobby, Warren, Hank, and Jean. Something tells me our movement will attract more of our kind soon. We'll become a giant-sized team. From Banshee, Polaris, Havoc, Sunfire, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus, Thunderbird, Psylocke, Shadowcat, Emma Frost, aka White Queen, Dazzler, Marvel Girl, Rogue, Magic Forge, Longshot, Boom Boom, Jubilee, Gambit, Cable, Domino, Bishop, Marrow, X-23, Armor, Pixie, Hope, all New Mutants, X-Factor, and X-Force, and every other mutant who will ever stand by me. I just want to say thanks for your support throughout this long, rigorous journey toward freedom. Someday, we will be free at last. Yes, free at last. Thank God Almighty, a world where mutants and non-mutants will coexist in peace. This is your Professor X, Charles Xavier speaking. And in some ways, I'm like Martin Luther King. And just like him, I have a dream. Hey everybody, just want to say thanks for watching my YouTube video. I Have a Dream, the X-Men version. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at @JeremyRoberts. That's IJeremyRoberts. RAMYROBERTS, okay? Big shout out to the one who filmed this, Chris. You can follow him on Facebook and Instagram at Super Daddy Chris, okay? Just like that, Super Daddy Chris. And you can find him on YouTube, just type in Super Daddy Chris. Really awesome videos. And thanks to the fantastic artist who drew the awesome artwork for me, Jose. Follow him on Instagram as well, at Jose's Art Cave, okay? Shout out to everybody who is a geek. Shout out to those who collect comic books, people who just love geeky stuff, people who go to Comic Cons, all my cosplayers, everybody who has X-Men comics, who collects them, everybody who has an X-Men #1. Shout out to everybody who's a part of the IG comic family. Who is that? Well, if you have an Instagram account and you collect comic books, to me, you're a part of the hashtag IG comic book family, okay? But be blessed, everybody, whether you're a geek or not. You guys have a good one. Please be on the lookout for more in the upcoming future. Peace!
Oh, you mother.